Hello, sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to Quantum Leap Reviews, Holiday Tangent Edition.
Immediately.
Yeah, and we've tortured Mike for once on this fucking thing.
Twin Peaks, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay
Mike,
with
let me get the intros out of the way. Then you can go off. I'm just holding you. You'll be off your leash in a moment. So, I'm usually a little wary about these tangents and I get self-conscious. But in this case, we're talking about one of the great tour de forces of Twin Peaks, and with respect to the remaining 11 episodes of the show, the last great thing David Lynch did before he passed.
It's true.
So, joining me for this discussion are my two usual co-hosts, Sean Dillon and Michael Hoovian. But we also have a third special guest. A woo bitches. It's Lynn and Mira McTeer.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, Lane is here because the Twin Peaks podcast that I was hosting crashed and burned because I was not ready to do a Twin Peaks podcast. So, yeah.
Well, life finds a way, though, Sean. And here we are.
Life finds a way, in which it also means that Fresno gets to talk about the Wizard of Oz again.
There's no Oz bullshit in this one. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, there are those bubbles.
Okay, you're stretching and you know it.
No, I'm not. The fucking Glinda happens in the original and friggin' Wild at Heart.
Okay, yeah, that's Wild at Heart. That's not Got a Light.
Played by Laura fucking Palmer.
Yes, I know, but we're not discussing Wild at Heart. It's a fine film, but we're not discussing Wild at Heart today.
See, this is what happens when you get David Lynch, who is one of the most... He was a man who was literally, certifiable insane, yes, but a brilliant movie film.
Wait, what do you mean by certifiably insane?
That'd be nice.
Have you not seen half the stuff that David Lynch has done?
Oh, David Lynch makes perfect sense.
Having a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And also being certifiably insane.
He was not a madman. He was a visionary.
Exactly.
Why can't he be both?
Yes.
That is actually the most, to apologize for the term, the most Lynchian read of it. Why not both?
Why not both?
Because we contain multitudes, and David Lynch contained multitudes over his career. And this is really something.
And he also was one of the most famous, and also one of the most driving forces pushing further uses of Oz material into modern day media.
Mike, we really need to sit you down with Lynch/Oz at some point. I like that.
Selena, since you're the guest for this podcast, how much of Twin Peaks have you actually watched prior to this episode?
That was my very first episode ever.
Oh my god, same!
Oh my god!
Yeah, so back when this was airing live, I was waiting until it was over so I could watch the entirety of Twin Peaks because I've never actually seen Twin Peaks. While it was airing, Elizabeth Sandifer was live tweeting about it, and she mentioned that this episode would be a good companion piece with the movie Wax: The Discovery of Television Among the Bees. So I gave that movie a watch, and it was one of the greatest things I have ever seen. Oh my god, it is fucking brilliant.
I'm not familiar.
So after that, I decided to watch this one episode of Twin Peaks without any context whatsoever.
This episode.
Oh my god.
This episode feels like, you know what? It feels like so you have Twin Peaks, which is basically the story of the death of a young girl, and how that ties into just how bad or how twisted this town has become because of it. One bad decision has caused this town to unravel. In reality, it has basically unraveled due to circumstances and decisions that have led to and after the death of this young girl. This episode, when I first watched it, felt like we had jumped series into some sort of Fallout crossover.
Which is funny because Kyle MacLachlan is in the Fallout show.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but before we get get into the absolute wildness of the back half of the episode, we probably should talk about the first, I want to say third of the episode, which is split between two segments. The
Okay.
first being in Kyle MacLachlan playing the evil Dale Cooper,
Mr. C.
along with some guy who's kind of a dick, like one of those thugs who gets killed in the middle of an action movie, a show the hero is a badass, those types of guys, who is working for a guy named Philip, who is played by David Bowie.
Oh man, yeah.
David Bowie.
Yeah, I just want to say this. When I first watched Twin Peaks, or The Return, I didn't much care for Evil Cooper. Like, I understand why he was there, but I didn't really like. But especially when rewatching this specific episode and knowing now, God, like Evil Cooper was literally made for the express purpose of showing just the amount of range he could do. Because you have Daryl Cooper, and then you have Evil Cooper, and Evil Cooper. Oh my God!
Honestly, Evil Cooper was also made because Frank Silva was dead.
Frank Silva is the guy whose face appears in that ball of goo that comes out of Evil Cooper's chest after he is shot to death. Also, Lena, as someone who is more of the mystical persuasion than any of us involved in the podcast, what's the relationship between fairy folk and resurrections?
That's an excellent question. Let me see. Because I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, because there's a degree to which there is a world era fairy to the other world within Twin Peaks, and the Woodsmen are very much invocations of American mythology, or rather, America's self-mythologization. They also make Inland Empire canon to Twin Peaks.
Oh God.
Let's see, fairy tales. That's not helpful.
We're looking it up live on the air, children. Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, what strikes me is that there's multitudes to this episode. On the one hand, we're talking about this. So little of this episode is like advancing the serialized plot lines of Twin Peaks, but at the same time, everything that happens in that last 30 minutes is integral to Twin Peaks as a whole. It's incredible, really.
Yeah, off the top of my head, you have the origins of evil within the cosmology of Twin Peaks, the origins of good within the cosmology of Twin Peaks, and literally the Log Lady and Hawk's origin story.
Yeah. But
I'm just like, sorry, Lena.
So I don't know that I'm finding anything regarding Resurrection and the Fairfolk, but Resurrection in general does tend to come up a lot in various mythologies. So like you've got the Greek myths of Hades and Persephone. You've got phoenixes, Norse myth. Oh, here's something. Legend tells of not just a person or even a god resurrecting, but rather the rebirth of the entire world. In Norse legends about the end of days, they tell of a terrifying event known as Ragnarok. Ragnarok is the end of days and tells of a battle between the gods that resulted in the end of the world. For 3 years, the world was plunged into eternal winter after the sun and the moon were destroyed. The battle culminated with the death of the thunder god Thor, who defeats, and I'm going to butcher the hell out of this name, Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, and dies soon after from the snake's poison. After the world is destroyed, it is reborn. A new green world is born from the sea, and the dead sun births a daughter who takes her place in the sky. The few survivors of the battle take shelter on this new world and bring forth new life.
Honestly, that kind of tracks with where Twin Peaks ultimately goes.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
all that talk about Ragnarok and the end of the world when we're discussing the atom bomb. Oh, we
Yeah,
are.
but
we are-
before we get to the oh god, the atom bomb, 9-inch nails.
No,
Or
I'm sorry.
rather,
The 9-inch
the
nails.
9-inch nails.
Now, this is interesting. This is something that Lena, you won't know, but usually in the Twin Peaks: The Return series, they will end the show with these musical numbers. This will be the end of the episode, the way out, the credits will roll. The fact that it pops up like 12 minutes in is already something to make you raise an eyebrow and give you pause. Like, why are we doing this now? That's very odd. And the reason we're doing
Because
that...
we're saying goodbye to the present, and we're going into the past.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to Twin Peaks, linear time is a suggestion.
Time is a social construct.
Yeah, time. Yeah, time. Pretty much what happens is to Twin Peaks, time is like an entity. Very much like a Chibnall episode, but we're not going to talk about
Do not sell the Twin Peaks with that.
Yeah, so so we have a cut to the atomic bomb being dropped on White Sands.
I fucking... Okay, so when I originally watched this, what my takeaway was that this was David Lynch going back to his roots. Specifically, Eraserhead. Now, Eraserhead is a very strange film, but there's two defining aspects of it to me. The fact that it has beautiful black and white cinematography, and that it is an oppressive soundscape of industrial grinding and shrill babies' cries. So, you have that sort of aesthetic put back into Twin Peaks, but I didn't realize this because back when I first watched it, I watched a Yahar Fiddle-Dee-Deed, so I didn't have subtitles. But I have the Blu-ray now, and I have the subtitles, and it actually lists, and I couldn't notice this if I read the credits close enough, it actually lists what this shrill orchestral score of screeching violins is as we zoom in on the atom bomb. What's it called, John?
What is it called?
I was doing a clever bit. It's like Threnody for the... Hang on. This is me going live. I'm gonna cut all this shit out.
No, wait, but yeah, we cut from.
I found it. Okay, we'll be honest, gang. We'll leave that in. It's called Threnody to the Victims of Hiroshima.
Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
the
God.
song. Yeah. Yeah, it's holy cow. Lena, just out of curiosity, since you've never seen Twin Peaks before, since this is the first time you're watching this, what do you think is going on?
I feel like I was watching an acid trip.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, but
I felt that when I was watching season 1. So.
Season 1? Really?
Yeah, I felt halfway through season 1, you start getting this feeling of like, are we experiencing this? Is this why? Because like half of season 1, it feels that, and then when David Lynch goes like, screw this, flips the table and walks out, that's when the acid trip begins.
That's season 2.
Season 2.
Okay, but like, if you thought that was crazy, fucking this shit is like, you're like if you gave a sickly Victorian child a fucking vape, you just do not have the capacity.
So basically, if you gave a vape to Ren Penrose, okay.
Oh, gee, okay. I know of them, but I don't know enough to know if that remark is accurate. But yeah. The atom bomb goes off. The threnody for the victims of Hiroshima is blasting in your ears as we have a kaleidoscope of images.
And meanwhile, And meanwhile, in Las Vegas, they're watching the bomb going off, going, "What's that?"
Oh,
Yeah, so there's uh we finally get to see Judy, the supposed eldritch abomination within the heart of Twin Peaks, as haunting everyone. And the entity proceeds to vomit out bile and garmonbosia.
you're probably gonna have to define Garmin Bosia Lena here, John.
Pain and suffering.
Yes.
Oh, fun.
The implications of this is that at the activation of the atomic bomb is an evil so corrosive it warps time itself, going forwards and backwards in reality, such that there are mentions in season 2 of atomic imagery, not necessarily the bomb itself, but like one character gets the atomic symbol seared onto his flesh. There are some some cave paintings featuring the symbol of the atomic bomb. And then you get to the book, which is Fresno.
Which book are we talking about? It's one of Mark
Secret
Frost's.
History.
Oh, the history. Oh,
Secret
God.
History.
Yeah. I don't even know how to begin to quantify the secret history of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
But it's a whole thing. Because and this is cutting back to Mike's criticism, where he said that before he viewed Twin Peaks as this microcosmic story about the dead girl who, was tragically lost and we all failed her, and then it became the evil in all the world, the battle between good and evil, and the bomb. But actually, it's both at once, because
Yeah, when Twin Peaks forgets that it's about Laura Palmer, you end up with the middle portion of season 2, which is some of the worst television ever.
oh, it's
God,
good. It's bad. It's
To
bad.
give you an idea, in the 1990s, they had an entire subplot where one of the characters fakes their death and returns to town by disguising themselves as a Chinaman.
But
Oh, no.
But that happened before they solved the murder.
I thought that was shortly after.
I'm pretty sure it was early season 2.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Here. I'll give you some freebies.
No, now I'm remembering.
Civil War General.
What?
Civil War General.
Oh God, yeah. So one of the characters has a nervous breakdown and starts pretending that he's a Confederate general, and the only way to resolve his nervous breakdown is to recreate the Civil War, but have the Confederacy win, and then he wakes up by making a Wizard of Oz reference.
Okay.
There's also the baby.
No.
The baby.
The baby.
The baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being
yeah.
said, the baby turns out to be one of the best parts of the return, because, oh God, the baby's return is amazing.
So yeah, and for those in the audience, no, we're not talking about a Metroid that gets destroyed by
Stop!
my brain and drove Fresno nearly insane
Stop!
with the
Stop!
game.
Stop!
Look, I'm gonna get how I'm gonna get some of these emotions out, right?
You have complex emotions about middling Wii games from 15 years ago. No, but yeah, the middle part of Twin Peaks. The one good thing it did, and well, this good for 1990 was Denise, the trans woman,
Yay,
Played by
Denise.
David Duchovny.
played by David Duchovny, which it was good for the time. Okay.
Was Return? No, Return was after the last 3 seasons of X-Files.
Yeah, the
Returns.
X-Files reboot, the third attempt at an X-Files reboot was messy.
Oh goodness. No, but
Yeah, that one. I will say this: the idea of funny enough, a child, again connecting twin X-Files. That was an interesting idea. They just went stupid with it.
anyway.
And then they went great with it when they returned to the Return.
Yeah.
And when Denise came back, and David Lynch himself went on camera and said to all people who don't recognize trans people, "Fix your hearts or die."
So,
Yes.
yes.
Anyway, the
So,
atom bomb.
So anyway, the atom bomb, which has fractured reality and has pretty much infected all of reality with pain and suffering.
Yes, all the evils of the world rippling back in through time because linear time is a suggestion, and so now here's where I was thinking going in. I was thinking, with respect to Sean putting this on the wheel, that the final episode of Twin Peaks: The Return might be a better fit for a Quantum Leap Reviews theme.
Yeah, I'm actually agreeing with you on that one.
But
But at the same time, we are doing this one because
I know,
this
but I found a way.
has-
I found a way, Sean. I found a way. The entire thing that happens with the with the tall man and
Yeah.
the flapper lady.
Actually, I
That
have a
yeah.
whole spiel about that with regards to Quantum Leap.
Please.
I think earlier this week, Mike posed the question in the Quantum Leap Discord server that we have to set up these podcasts. What exactly is the deal with the evil leapers? What is their backstory?
No. I asked. I sort of asked that. I was wondering what was your what you all had
Yeah.
to say. What sort of canon welding can you do to explain the evil leapers?
Yeah, my canon welding is this.
Okay, go on.
This is the evil leapers. They are, yeah, there is no coherent explanation for them in a way that would satisfy. Hey, they are an out of context problem from which all reality warps from their presence. They can escape from this warping, but it is nevertheless an infection of reality itself.
Ooh, I like
Here
that.
here I was comparing them to Kavari.
I mean, Lena will know. Lena and I will give you points for that. You know this, Mike.
Yes.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, see, my idea was, I had two ideas. One was they are the devil's answer, they were the same. Another thing which made Fresno happy was that they were mirrors. We are the middle ground, which is we currently doing the review are the middle ground. That's why we can get Marilyn and them up to the middle ground. But they want to put everything bad. Sam wants to push everything idyllic. So it's this fighting back and forth.
For the record, my read was that it was a bad timeline trying to reassert itself, where Quantum Leap fully becomes under the umbrella of the U.S. military and weaponized to promote imperialism and maintain the status quo of a dominant nation. And then what put right what once went wrong by sending Sam Beckett out there to fix ordinary lives that they're ruining or something, or they're trying to reassert their own existence and ruin everything or some shit like that. It's a very messy concept, but that was my read on it. Going
on a tangent, we need to get Lena here to listen to the Diaries of River Song box set with Kovarian and 5.
You think she hasn't done that already?
Yeah.
I did one story, and you will find out which one it is when the book comes out.
Ooh, book.
Yeah, if I may, Han, I'm very tempted to just read my entire spiel that I sent to Fresno back when they were first watching Twin Peaks.
No, we're fine.
I haven't gone back into the I haven't learned my lesson from the straight story. I haven't looked at the DMs.
Yeah, so I wrote this long thing that I actually cut it down from the thing because I also had an entire tangent. Yeah, oh god. Hold on, I'm just gonna read it aloud.
Oh boy.
Okay, go ahead. In their comic series, Flux Mentallo, Man of Muscle Mystery, Grant Morrison once wrote, "Before it was a bomb, the bomb was an idea." Their career in between that moment and now was a largely failed attempt at arguing that the superhero was a counter to that idea. But it's worth engaging with the implications of that line. What does it mean for an idea to have an impact upon the world? The question, then, is what does the atomic bomb represent? what does it mean for a thing like the bomb to be dropped? How does it function? It's worth considering the occult implications of the bomb. Putting aside the Twin Peaks connection, Alan Parsons likewise worked on the bomb, and he was an occultist who was pals with Crowley. For this, we must turn the clock back decades, centuries even, to December 8th, 1829. While there are many precursors to the events of that day, there is a symbolic value to utilizing this date for the purposes of Twin Peaks. Recall who knows about the Black and White Lodges. This being Hawk, who has specific detail about him that will be very clear as I read this aloud. On this day, President Andrew Jackson delivered his State of the Union address, wherein he said the following. The condition and ulterior destiny of the Indian tribes within the limits of some of our states have become the objects of much interest and importance. It has long been the policy of government to introduce among them the arts of civilization in the hope of gradually reclaiming them from a wandering life. This policy has, however, been coupled with another wholly incompatible with its success. Professing a desire to civilize and sell them, we have at the same time lost no opportunity to purchase their lands and thrust them farther into the wilderness. By this means, they have not only been kept in a wandering state, but been led to look upon as unjust and indifferent to their fate. This, in turn, would become what is wholly referred to as the First Indian Removal Act. As the name suggests, the act would forcibly remove the native population from their land and force them to be moved west of the Mississippi. The act was signed into law on May 28, 1830, and was expected, and as was to be expected, there was pushback from the various tribes whose civilization predates America by centuries, if not millennia. Among May actions, the Cherokee tribe attempted to sue the state of Georgia over their right as a sovereign nation. One such case, Rochester versus Georgia, argued that by imposing state laws onto the Cherokee Nation, the state of Georgia was disregarding the treaties the U.S. made with the Cherokee. Indeed, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Rochester and, subsequently, the sovereign nation of the Cherokee. Jackson promptly ignored the Supreme Court's ruling. From this, the United States would enact what would be known as the Trail of Tears, wherein various native tribes were forcibly removed from their land by the U.S. troops to designated Indian Territory. In between their marches, they would be forced to stay in internment camps, wherein they were bombarded with smallpox, lack of supplies, and extortion. They were forced to march on either side, either on the hottest or coldest days of the year. Many died. From this, several generations of cruelty would transpire. The influence of the idea of the bomb would grow and shift until, at last, it became manifest in the form of an atomic explosion. For the idea of the bomb is the cruelty at the heart of imperialism. The evil that men do is the belief that one is allowed to do as one pleases because one is right.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not going to read the entire thing because it's a bit long.
I found it. It's good shit. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually wrote an entire article about the implications of the atomic bomb that ended up being 11,000 words long and had to be cut down significantly, including the Twin Peaks stuff.
I'm reading it back, and this is wild. You end the part on the death of Laura Palmer by quoting "Face the Raven," or is it Hal Bent? It's something that Maisie Williams says. She died for who she was and where she stood. It was beautiful. It was sad.
That's Hellbent.
That's a Hellbent. Hellbent good, by the way. Hellbent good. Woo!
Fresno, put the Hellbent down, even though it's been 10 years. Oh my God, it's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years, 1 week, and 1 day. But who's counting?
You are.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So, all of this is to say that the most quantum leap thing happens, putting right what once went wrong, where, as Lena puts it, the man from another place is the little guy. What's the name of the tall guy?
The giant.
The giant, right?
Or the fireman.
Or the fireman. Okay, the fireman, as Lena says, regenerates.
And from his regeneration energy comes Laura Palmer.
Yes. A force of good sent out into the world to combat this evil? Or there are many ways you could read it, but that's one
Yeah.
way. Which, given that we're talking about resurrection, very, Christian in some aspects, sending someone down to save the world from sin. Although it didn't exactly work out like that for Laura Palmer, but still, there's symbolism. But there's power in that act, There is evil in the world. We're going to do something to put right what once went wrong. There you go. We're on topic now. See, this isn't a total tangent. Wow!
Yeah.
No,
And then we cut. And then after.
Go ahead, Mike.
Keep doing this again. I thought you were gonna quote the second Doctor's thing. There's evil around us, and it must be fault.
Well,
This is a Doctor Who podcast. This is Quantum Leap.
Yes.
So, anyways, we cut from the birth of good and evil within the cosmology of Twin Peaks, and cut to slightly further on in history, the mid-1950s, wherein, oh boy.
Well, we get why the episode is named this.
Magic is not the thing from my understanding of magic, and Lena, please correct me if I'm wrong. Magic is not one to be controlled by anyone.
It's neither good nor evil. It just is.
Yeah.
What matters more is what you use it for.
Yeah, in this case, we have an entity of pure magic coming around and going, "Got a light," in the most terrifying way possible.
Oh, the way that it distorts everything around you in the soundscape, because this couple pulls over and they're surrounded by these woodsmen, and one comes up and says, "God," and as he approaches, the whole soundscape distorts like a freaking out radio, and he's distorted. Their screams of terror are distorted.
Yeah, it's a wonder they survive.
Yeah, that's a miracle.
I wonder what would have happened if somebody had just lit his cigarette.
Well, we cut to a young couple, roughly in their mid-teens. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be Hawk and the Log Lady.
You thought so? Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's what they're supposed to be, though I've heard some other interpretations of them. But they are talking about their future together. And we then go to a radio station where a song by the Pliers is playing called "My Prayer."
See, and this is just me going off of my memories of watching the show and also not having seen the rest of it lately. I thought the girl was, and I don't know if the date's filled. I thought it was Sarah Palmer.
It could be, but given the boy is, I'm pretty sure, played by a Native American actor.
Okay.
So it is possible.
Yes.
Given where Twin Peaks goes, I could, and especially how this episode ends.
Yeah. But bad things start happening at radio station land.
Yep. Rather than just asking for a light, he proceeds to squash the radio announcer's head with one hand.
It's worse. He squashes the receptionist's head. Then he's still actively squashing his head while he's giving his enigmatic broadcast that makes people pass out. This is the one.
Lena, what do you think is going on?
Yeah.
Well, at least from the radio station scene, it looked like it may as well be a dramatization of what happened where the radio station I interned at in college got bought out by a evangelical Christian radio company.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure about that or anything.
Oh no, of course not.
So I was watching this and I was like, when did I put on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? Because this is what that felt like.
Isn't Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 a piss take?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have not delved into the oeuvre of Leatherface, but
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is the only one that you actually need to watch. Toby Hooper was hired by the Canon Film Company to do a sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it involves Dennis Hopper dual-wielding chainsaws.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness gracious.
And
Den-
having a
Yeah,
chainsaw
Hey,
sword fight with Leatherface.
here's the thing. Two, like one is cinema. One is cinema. Two is a slasher movie, and it's hilarious. Three onwards, you don't need to watch.
yeah.
I mean, I've heard decent things about Leatherface, but other than that, yeah.
Well, regardless, Sean, the message that this enigmatic fellow who wants a light says to the world.
This is the water, and this is the well. Drink full and descend. The heart is the...
Damn it, why did I forget the last line?
The horse is the white of the eyes.
The horse is the white of the eyes, and dark within.
Now, this is why I latched on to Sarah Palmer, because what does Sarah Palmer see in Twin Peaks sporadically?
A pale horse.
Yeah! So, you know, I'm not completely reaching here.
So basically, Sarah Palmer lived in New Mexico in the 50s.
I mean, they never
Moved
do say
on.
that. I mean, that first off, that is possible, and second, they never do say where this episode is taking place.
They don't say it in 1956. I mean, it has to take place somewhere in the Southwest.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like, given back then, radio stations they weren't even regional. They were like grouped. So, like, she could have literally been in the area, moved up to Washington or Oregon to the town, eventually had Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, that opens a lot of boxes when you.
And
start
I mean,
thinking.
considering how fucked up Sarah Palmer is when we actually see her again in The Return.
Yep, and then that thing goes into her mouth. Lena, what do you think that thing is?
I'm going to assume it's some sort of eldritch abomination.
For some reason, Sean, when you asked that, I imagined David Bowie in Fire Walk with Me. Who do you think that is there?
We're not going to talk about Jody.
God, yeah. They see... David Lynch had that in his mind so early. It's fucked up. It's just this random thing that David Bowie says is suddenly, oh my God! Twin Peaks contains multitudes, y'all.
Yeah, the thing about Twin Peaks is that out of context, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But when you immerse yourself within the context of Twin Peaks, everything is perfectly rational and coherent.
Exactly.
See, but that immediately, that's the first thing that I'm like, is when Elena locked onto it, is that Twin Peaks is this supposed to be like ethereal, like sort of like, what is this? Like, it's somewhat in the fog. You don't know what's truly going on. You get some aspects, but and then God of Light is literally eldritch abomination.
Okay.
So you get this like mix of just like meant to be like this secretive. You don't quite know. It's like all hazy, and then Return basically goes, no, it's eldritch.
No, well, it doesn't exactly say that. That's just a guess. It's an assumption. It could be anything. But here's the thing about the Return era. It's mixing the microcosm story that you love with Laura Palmer with the macrocosmic scale of like the sins of America coming manifest, the dark heart beating through and corrupting. Because the Return actually expands out from like the original show mainly focused on Twin Peaks and a couple of little side trips across the Canadian border there, but in The Return, we get to see New York, we get to see Las Vegas, we get to see Montana, we get to see like South America, we get to see all this, and we get to see how Mr. C has infected it and darkness has taken root, and we get to see, you know, good triumph in the end, but at what cost? But that's discussions for the two-part finale.
the Dark Heart of America. Oh, do you mean Hackman? Is Hackman?
Stop!
I mean, you're not wrong.
He's not wrong, but also, how dare you remind me of this? At least Twin Peaks is a lot better drama than that. I'll tell you that much right now. But I do not have time to explain the terror. I can explain it. Hackman fridged a girl. There you go.
Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice.
Yeah, because well, to be fair, that is kind of Laura Palmer.
Yeah, but also,
Like the Dark Heart of America is that the people you love will die for no good reason. Is kind of weak sauce compared to the horror of America. Is that it was built on the souls of imperialism, with the deeds of imperialism as its heart, and that heart is irrestrictable from America.
It's the constant battle for good and evil, which you can see in the heart of Laura Palmer in Fire Walk with Me.
And when she's literally going insane, wanting to pull her hair out.
Listen. The scene with the fan that is in the missing pieces is the key to understanding the psychological battle of Laura Palmer, and it should have been in the movie.
I still think the final scene of The Return answers every question. When they finally go into this other reality and they're like, hello, meeting at the house, and then Laura finally realizes just what's happened to reality, and then she screams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one interpretation of the ending, which is,
yeah.
Oh boy, the ending.
The ending sure is something. And also, given that, and while we're talking about it, I will say briefly that I read I forget the name of it. This piece of feminist critique of Laura Palmer and Twin Peaks in general, saying that again, it's much like what you said in that piece where Laura Palmer, quoting the Hellbent thing, she died where she was beautiful, it was sad, and in a man trying to decide to put right what once went wrong, he subverts her ending from Fire Walk with Me and makes it worse. That's what the people in the book say. Now, whether or not that's true,
Yeah.
we'd have to analyze the final episode. But it's an interesting thing to think about in relation to being a Quantum Leap podcast about going back in time and presenting these things.
Sean, would you put the next after this podcast? Would you please put the final episode of Twin Peaks: The Return on the wheel, as well as Wicked, the Wicked duology?
Ah! You forget.
Mike, if I put the Wicked Mike, I just want you to know, if I put the Wicked duology on there, I'm taking away all your other options.
Okay, then I won't do that. Then don't do that.
You can't torture me that easy, Michael. Oh my God. So the bomb then. Do we? What else have we got to say? We could talk a lot about this, I think, but we're going.
Yeah, it's just
visual spectacular. Like, my God, this is the best usage of digital art since 28 Days Later.
28 days later?
I'm going from the history of it, but it's 28 Days Later, or then Michael Mann, and doing, I think, either Public Enemies. Yeah, I think that's Michael Mann doing Public Enemies, then this.
Okay.
It really, when you sit down and try to think, again, like I said, I didn't, I've had thoughts about, my belief on Twin Peaks is that it should be micro, but when you sit down and think about the bomb and everything, it is a gripping piece of television.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, to me personally, it doesn't belong with Twin Peaks, but I can't just sit here and say, oh, this is bad, and throw it all out. No.
Yeah, no.
This is gripping.
Yeah. So
it is that sort of, just that hold on all the characters. This was the moment the world decided, F it, we're fighting in the streets.
So I will give a bit of rebuttal to that because like I said, this is mixing the microcosm and the macrocosm, and in the end, and I understand where you're coming from because I famously on my blog, the entire reason I watched Quantum Leap is to flee from the macrocosm of science fiction that was poisoning my fucking brain. I was dealing with Chibnall era lore and late era Enterprise at the same time, and I didn't like what it was doing to me. I had to get out, so I went to Sam Beckett, and it healed me. So I understand your trepidation, but in the end, the macrocosm is a tool. And used poorly, it can be, lore bombs only care about being lore bombs. This is not a lore bomb. This is an expertly crafted piece of material by Lynch and Frost. Frost cares more about the macrocosm, I think. Like, they are partners in this, and it's reductive to say David Lynch did all the microcosm and Mark Frost did all the macrocosm stuff, but when you look at the fact that Mark Frost put out those two books, Secret History of Twin Peaks and Twin Peaks Final Dossier, and it is about that microcosm, the grand spanning conspiracy and lore and tying everything together on a whiteboard for the reason of mapping out, all of this stuff, the history of the imperialism, everything that Sean was talking about, and how it affected the people in town and the events that we came to see, it's used interestingly. And you pair that with the human aspect of Laura Palmer, you get something truly fantastic and memorable that's better than any sci-fi lore bomb that could ever be detonated explaining Klingon forehead ridges or whatever the fuck.
Hey, that's one of the good episodes of season 4.
No, it is not.
I feel like you're lying, but I'm not going to know if you are lying until Lane and I get to that point in.
He's lying. He's lying.
No. I hate season 3 with burning passion. Season 4 has got a few good episodes. One of which is that idea that Klingons wanted to get stronger, so they looked to the augment virus. They saw the augment virus and went, "We could use that." And because they decided to do that and they were tempted too much by that virus, that's why they turned into the humans of TOS. That was the consequence to using the virus.
You're going Watsonian here. The doorless explanation is a bunch of Star Trek nerds were like, "This bothers me! Why is it different? Why?"
Oh my god.
And they spent millions of dollars to soothe their souls on a question nobody asked! See, this is the kind of shit I fled to Quantum Leap for. Oh god. Yeah, Lena, final thoughts, please.
It was... I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I mean,
welcome to Twin Peaks.
Lena,
yeah, that was probably gonna be a lot of the podcast that we would have done if we got to this point in Twin Peaks.
Well, if we got to this point, she would have seen the show, wouldn't she?
Yeah, probably. And also Inland Empire.
Okay, also Inland Empire, but it's fine.
You know that one Simpsons clip where he's watching Twin Peaks on TV and Homer goes, "This is genius. I don't understand what's going on."
Yeah.
That's about what I thought after I watched this. I enjoyed it, and at the same time, I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, jumping into this is your first episode? Oh, Lena,
welcome to how I felt.
And he watched the show.
Back to back.
He watched the show up to this point. Lena, you really should go back and watch the pilot, at least the pilot episode of Twin Peaks, because that is also cinema. But it's understandable. Girl dies, people are sad. We try to figure out what happened. It's understandable, if not quirky. And then we get to Fire Walk with Me and why it's a feminist masterpiece that also harrows my very soul. I think we've heard from everybody. If anyone else got anything else to say, or shall we?
Yeah, this is a visual spectacle. My God, David Lynch, I wish you were alive. I wish you were still alive. I even said killed by the forest fires that keep happening in California.
God, I miss him so much. God.
We almost lost Dick Van Dyke to those wildfires.
And now
We
he's
almost
100
lost
years.
him.
He's 100
now,
years old
today,
at the time of
as
recording.
of today. Literally turned 100 today.
And so I have an idea. I have an idea for today.
You're not putting Diagnosis Murder on the wheel, Mike.
No. Lena.
Yes.
Lena, I have a proposal to you since you are our guest, and since it is my turn to spin, I wanted to be a little bit nice. I could either spin that wheel right now, spin it, and whatever we land on, we get, and whatever we do, or whatever we get is whatever we have to deal, or we could watch Mary Poppins for our next episode.
What?
Hmm.
2 tangents in a row, huh?
Choices,
Yes.
choices.
Yeah. So that you are the person. I'm giving it up to you. We can spin the wheel, go for it, go random, or Mary Poppins to honor Dick Van Dyke. You can choose.
You just know the wheel is going to get jealous if you pick Mary Poppins and give us the trial.
You're teasing the wheel, Michael.
We have the skits. We'll be fine.
You're teasing the wheel, Mike.
I'm going to roll some dice in the interest of fairness. So let's see how this goes.
All right. Listen, Wheel.
Let's
I
do it.
advocated for you, Wheel. I advocated for you, okay? I want you to know that. Go ahead, Mike. Spin that beautiful beam footage.
I'm gonna spin it just to get ready.
All right. You haven't been test spinning it, have you?
No.
Good.
I kept getting 3s and 4s, which means
We're going for
it's
the
Mary
wheel.
Poppins time.
You were rolling dice for that. Okay.
Oh, so you want to go for Mary Poppins? So just to spin to see what we would have.
No, don't
Here
touch
we
it.
go. I've already clicked.
Don't touch it, Mike. God.
You're tempting fate, Mike.
Yeah.
Fresno, you dodged a bullet. It would have been Mary Poppins or the Wiz.
Well, we get to watch a good musical.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Even though the sound of it is really quite atrocious.
I don't know the rest of the words of the song, but I will when I watch Mary Poppins and Julie Andrews because I'm not watching The Wiz.
So next time, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to our lovely friend Lena, and to honor Dick Van Dyke, who has just turned 100 years of age, we, as in me, Sean, and Fresno, will be sitting down to watch one of the greatest children's movies of all time,
Okay.
Mary Poppins.
I've never actually seen this, so okay.
What? You're kidding.
Well,
You're
we're gonna
kidding.
we're gonna rectify it now, aren't we?
Yes, I'll say you are. Holy cow.
I do want to say this. I had this idea for about 3 days.
Oh my lord.
To ask Lena what she wanted, because Lena is our guest and it would be nice to have her opinion on this. That's why I said I could have either spinned or that. And the fact that the wheel spun and landed on the Wiz is hilarious to me.
Yeah, I'm currently. I'll talk about it after the podcast. Where can we find our lovely people?
All right, you can find us all on Bluesky, linked down below. As you can see on this channel, am currently engaged in the Fresmas the 15th, a streaming marathon that, as of this recording, is about halfway through. Mike gave me an absolute insane game in Super Bonk. And Sean has given me a game that I'm going to play tomorrow.
Wait, I thought that was my game.
No, tomorrow is your game.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect, so we're gonna find out.
Yeah, just for those in attendance, I gave him either Emerald City Confidential or Super Bonk.
Yeah.
He chose Super Bonk.
Yeah.
He chose the insanity.
Yeah, well, That's how you sneak it by me. You're like, would you rather have this madcap insanity or an Oz adaptation? Give me the madness! Give me the madness! Give me the madness! So, Mike, what have you been up to? I know you've got blog and letterbox. What have you been doing lately?
I got a blog, Mongolian Thoughts at blogspot.com. I've got letterbox, which I haven't done. I haven't done one this week. Mainly because I wanted to take my hands a rest after November.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah. What I find is hilarious is just what I found just hilarious is next week we will have Mary Poppins. I mean, in 2 weeks from now we will have Mary Poppins, and that's the one we end on for this year.
Yeah, there you go. Having a little party for going out for 2025. Very good. Sean, what are you up to?
I'm currently working on a book about media criticism and the rise of fascism. Next month, Lena and I are going to be starting to work on a new project about Star Trek.
Ooh.
Read Assimilation Squared immediately.
We're not going to be at TNG for a bit. We have to start. We're going in chronological order, so we have to start with Star Trek: The Original Series.
Oh, boy.
I thought you meant chronological, which meant you had to start with Enterprise.
Well, technically, we're starting with a Robert Heinlein novel, but we're watching TOS first.
Ah, goodness gracious. Oh, I hope you two enjoy that. Is there anything else you can tell us about that project?
It's a bit straightforward, just going through all of Star Trek.
Ooh, okay.
It's like About Space, but for a different franchise.
About time, but for a different franchise.
Or
Or
about
about space.
That's actually a really cool idea, and you can actually get like multiple other, like, I know it'd be weird, but you could get like multiple other people in on that.
Probably for some guest essays, but I
Yes.
think the plan for it is sort of, we're going to be co-writing the book rather than I'm working as her editor and she's going to be the main writer.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you need any Star Trek thoughts, you can give me a shout. Lena, aside from About Space, what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been doing a lot of things. I am busily blogging at witchwolfden.wordpress.com. So right now on the blog, I am coming to the last third of my deep dive into Paul McCartney's solo discography. I've got another Star Trek project that I'm currently working on, covering season 3 of TNG. I've got the revived My Little Pony project. I've been a busy girl.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. So Lena, have you spun Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time yet?
Yes, I love that song.
Those synths do give me a funny little sense of nostalgia, though.
I do find it almost hilarious. That Lena's doing all these things and Lena's doing all this, and my head at some point are like, I gotta write, like I gotta put my hands to the keyboard. Why can I not put my hands to the keyboard?
Hey, I'm taking the holidays off, and I'm not even taking the holidays off. I've got an essay cooking. This has been cooking in my head for years, and now I finished non-specific November writing month enough that I feel confident in banging it out. I have to watch my favorite holiday movie again and take a bunch of notes and talk about it, but that's happening. And
you're also 2026. You also said you might be doing the want to be the strongest in the world. I think. You said you wanted to do that for 2026.
Did I? Well, I mean, that's something that I want to do with, with another person. But I do have some ideas in the can for 2026 that are going to be rather
2026.
No,
2026. Retrospective on everything Wizard of Oz. Bye, everybody.
That's not happening, and you know it. Don't put words in my mouth. You son of a... I'm turning this podcast around right now, and I'm gonna pull into McDonald's and I'm gonna order one black coffee and drive away.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody, and we'll see you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. We're gonna see you in 2 weeks.
Since we may Let me just check the calendar.
It is the
Since we won't, since this is our last podcast before the holiday, I just want to say to everybody out there, I hope you all have a wonderful Merry Christmas.
yes.
And a
Truly,
blessed
from all of
Yule.
us. Yeah, and everyone from everyone here at Quantum Leap Reviews, I hope you have a lovely, happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate,
Yes.
we all stand behind you.
Have a
100%.
festive day. We appreciate you listening. You have a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for the Between Christmas and New Year's show, where we talk about Dick Van Dyke the Chimney Sweep and animated characters dancing around with Julie Andrews. I don't know. I don't know what's in this movie. I haven't seen it, but I will rectify that in 2 weeks, and we'll be seeing you. Good night, everybody.
Oh, one
Happy-
more thing. One more thing.
Happy
before
Life Day.
the birthdays and holidays. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you.
Aw, that's very sweet. All right. Happy birthday to all who celebrate, and be seen.